Well, here we are, 6 hours later. And it's a mess, but it took me that long. First, I separated everything from 1932 to 1960. Everything from 60 to 64 is in that. I'll show you in a second. So they haven't been separated, but these have. And I'm thankful that I didn't call John and tell him to bring the rest of my tubes of quarters over and that I just dumped what was in there. But anyway, I would drag this over, but I'm afraid of knocking all these over. But these are the 60, 1, 2, 3, and 4s. And there's some real high quality in there, but can't even concern ourselves with it. And this is the rest of them, separated by year. Now I kept saying to myself, holy crap, where's the 31s and 33s? Well, I don't know enough to know that they didn't make them in 31, 33. Now, from 32, and obviously they didn't make them in 33, and then 34 on, I have multiple sets with the exception of 38. I've got one lousy 38, and you can see, where the hell is it? It just beat the crap. And I only have two 1949s. But aside from that, I've got, for some reason, 1943 was a big year, as was 44 and 42. So I guess the war years, they just made tons of them. Now back there are some walking liberties and a few barbers, but they're only worth melt because there isn't a single walking liberty where you can read the date, and the few barbers there are really aren't in that great a shape. So this is what we have. Now, if any of you are collectors of quarters and you're trying to collect the whole set, believe me, I haven't looked to see a single mint mark, so and I haven't separated anything by. I was hoping I had more of an equal amount of each, so that maybe I could just take off one off the top of each row and put it in a tube. But I guess I'm going to have to put it. I got a box of junk back here, and I guess I'm going to have to find tubes, and not regular tubes, but old pill boxes and shit to put them in, because I don't want to mix them all up again. But if any of you, and here's another one, 51, for some reason there were an awful lot, and there were a lot of nice quality 58s. But as you see, it's only two 49s, and there's a nice amount of everything else. There's probably the least of which is 32s, and there's 7 of them. And why they didn't make them at 31, 33, I know it was a depression, but 32 was the election of Roosevelt, and why they wouldn't have made him in 33, I don't know. But anyway, here's the accumulation of, and this again is dedicated to Big Stack McGee, or I wouldn't have bothered. This is the accumulation of what I had in that container. It's full of 60, 61, 2, 3s and 4s. All of these all mixed up. And I just wanted to, well, it'd give me something to do, being we're practically quarantined here in New Jersey. But still, now that I've done it, I've got to find tubes, containers, and mark these off because I'm not going through this again. But as I was saying, and then there's some that were pretty high quality that I just set aside for the hell of it. What that Kennedy half was doing in there, I don't know. But what I'm going to do is try to separate these by years, and the years where there's only a few, I'll combine them. And as I was saying earlier in this video, and I don't want to carry this video on, is that I'm happy I didn't call John and have him bring more over. I couldn't imagine if I'd have known in the morning this was going to take over 6 hours. I'd have kept my mouth shut. So what I'll be doing probably for the next hour is separating these and finding proper things for them to go into, and labeling them, and they won't fit back in there if they're in containers. But there you have it. I have no idea how many there are. I know that I had, well, I'm not supposed to lift anything over 5 pounds, but when that thing was jam-packed full of quarters, that had some real heft to it. So, happy I didn't call John, as I said before, and I know this isn't very entertaining, but it just gives you an idea when you randomly collect 90% junk silver. This is what you're liable to end up with years and years later. Thank you very much, and I wish you people would leave comments. And as I said, anybody that's missing, that has a collection of quarters and is missing a couple of quarters to finish your collection, and you can give me the, if it's absolute necessity, I will try to find mint marks, but I'd rather not. So if you're missing a year or so, feel free to leave me a message, and we'll find a way of getting in touch, and we'll match these up with what you need. Thanks again. Sorry to bore you, but the next box, let's see what the next one is. Oh, it's assorted crap. I can hardly lift that. And these are all $50. So there can't be as many $50 as there were quarters, just because of the size and the weight. So it'll be much easier to separate them. I'll go directly, separate them directly into piles of the various years. Well, thanks again for watching. Sorry it took so long.